Oh hey there gamers! I'm sorry, I didn't see you there behind my wall of money and 9.5 reviews for every game ever. Apparently some of you don't like a certain game. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not because the game was bad, it's because you have entitlement issues. You feel entitled to get a good ending to a series that has captivated your attention for almost half a decade, and isn't a cop-out that has no reflection on the severity of the choices that you make throughout the game promised by BioWare numerous times in development and are ultimately exactly the same thing. But you're not entitled to it, because you're just a whiny baby. This isn't the game's problem, it's your problem. And it's also your fault that the DLC is on the disc, because gaming has never been cheaper, so you should obviously have to pay $120 in order to get all the content that's on the disc anyways, because that's how inflation works, you dummy. Speaking of which, if you didn't like the ending or the DLC, but you bought the game anyways, you should just unbuy it. That's the only logical solution to this problem. You shouldn't be mad at the writers, the animators, or the CEOs in charge of reaming you at every possible turn, because it's your fault that you bought the game in the first place. And they're also all incredibly fragile people who can't take criticism. I'm just gonna walk down a street while saying these words because I can't sit and look like a douchebag for an entire video. I have to walk and look like a douchebag too. The production values on this video are amazing. It's too bad Mass Effect 3's production values weren't, but like I said, it's your fault for giving them money, right? And let's not forget, companies can do whatever they want. That's the overall message here, that you shouldn't be able to complain, voice your opinion, or try to get anything changed despite the demand, because companies are bigger than people, and they can market whatever they want, including favorable reviews, hiding unfavorable reviews, touting that an MMO that is currently dying and killing the company is the most successful ever created, and certainly Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, World of Warcraft, Halo promotional DLC, Coke Zero 9.5. Let's disregard that Mass Effect's writing went completely out of the window after Mass Effect 1 and just delude ourselves that 2 is not dumbed down, casual shit that everyone wanted changed and only pandered to the crowd that wants to have sex with everything that moved. And let's look past Mass Effect 3's atrocious budgeting for assets like Tally's picture, the entire ending sequence, and most, if not all of the writing, and let's definitely disregard the combat in the last 2 games that has consisted of hallways that would make even Final Fantasy 13 jealous. And we can see that behind it all, you just have gamer entitlement issues, and you don't deserve a good game just because you paid for it and because our reviews told you that you were gonna get it. Overall, if you didn't like the fact that instead of actually being a good game that you wanted and expected from a series, you got a shitty and overhyped and rushed and monetized to hell and back and buggy and lazy, steaming pile of have sex with everything that moves shit, then it's not because it could have been avoided by EA and BioWare by actually putting the time and effort into making a complete game that satisfies both fans of the series and newcomers, instead of baiting and switching every loyal fan and only trying to appeal to Call of Duty's market by splashing all of the cash on promotional adverts rather than the game itself. It's because you're an entitled baby. I'm IGN and Kotaku for the past month, and if you have a problem with what we've just said, well, strawman all of your arguments on the fact that Jennifer Hepler is a woman rather than just being a shitty writer like she is.